Good morning, children. Welcome back with a new topic from grade 8 geography about agriculture. This is Sridevi from Tal Padmavati International School, Warangal. So, today we are going to learn about agriculture and its development. Let me tell you, children, when I first read this chapter, I didn't put a great deal of thoughts into knowing what it fetched like to be a farmer. Many of you will think the same way after reading this chapter. I mean, if I wanted to do farming, it can be so frustrating or figure out just where I put the seeds so that it would always, unless the land is good and the soil is fertile. So, this chapter is about knowing all the science and art behind agriculture. Don't worry about science part. Of course, it is not exactly the complete science. It's going to be all plain and simple with no further ado about the topic. So, let's begin the topic, children. What is the definition of agriculture? The science and art of cultivation on the soil, raising crops and rearing livestock. It is also called farming. The reason it says science in art is because knowing about the soil, the climatic conditions, the crop patterns, the fertilizers, all of this is science, and art refers to the ways of growing crops, right type of machinery that needs to be used, and allocating specific number of people for agricultural work. I hope this definition is plain and clear to you. So there are three types of economic activities. So actually it's four, but here we are talking about just three, and they are the primary, secondary, and tertiary activities. What is primary activity? The definition is anything that include all those connected with the extraction and production of natural resources. The best way to remember this is to start any activity you need resources. And most of the resources are naturally produced, that means from nature. So any activity where if you have to put your hand directly into the nature's resource, that is called primary activity. Example, agriculture, fishing are good to understand what is this primary activity. Now whatever that we get from nature, it cannot be consumed directly. It needs to be processed and refined. So the secondary activity refers to processing of those primary resources. And some of the examples of secondary activities are the manufacturing of steel, baking of bread, weaving of cloth, etc. Tertiary activities refers to support to the primary and secondary sectors through service. So most of the jobs that we do, be it in the government sector, private sector, working in MNC, working in some kind of office, etc. So there are all support services. So that's why it is called as tertiary sector. We're completely based on service. So the third kind of activity is tertiary sector. So some of the good examples are transport, trade, banking, insurance, advertising, etc. So agriculture is a primary activity because to do anything you need food. To win a war you need food. You cannot win war in empty stomach. Therefore, agriculture is the primary activity, and in the world 50% of the people are engaged in agricultural activity. And when it comes to India, two-thirds of the India's population is still depending on agricultural activities because India is an aggregate in country. So we know that to have a good agriculture, we need uh, favorable topography, which means the physiography of the place and then the soil and the climate. There are crucial things for flourishing agricultural activities. Yes. And coming to the point about different farming styles, where we can call them as the five types of cultures, which are sericulture, pisciculture, viticulture or agriculture. Let us know about sericulture. With the word you can figure out seri, that means silkworms. So commercial rearing of silkworms is nothing but sericulture. When comes with the another production of goods is pisciculture. If you see pisci horoscope, it is represented by a fish. It means breeding of fish in tank or pond is called as pisciculture. So, like culture mean to say is related with economic activity. So the production of these all culture based agriculture method of producing, like either silkworm or else the fishes or else the fruits or graveyards or whatever, they are been completely the source of economic activity to produce the goods. So we would talk like even pisciculture, just as I told you, it is a breeding of fish in tank or a pond is called as pisciculture. So agriculture, we have read about it in the cultivation on soil and rearing crops and livestock, which is also called as farming. So this would be also one of the method of producing the fishes, which would be called as pisciculture, the growing of or the breeding of fishes for economic activity. Another one is the viticulture. So pretty you can remember grapes are grown in vineyard. So V stands for grape. Grape. So the production of grapes, the wines what we get in the market, especially which are being produced to produce the wine, would be the viticulture, where the method of production is completely based on only grape production. That would be called as viticulture. In the market we will be seeing different kinds of wines, grape wines produced and sold in the market, where consumers prefer to purchase such a type of different drinks, soft drinks in the market. So most of this grape is being produced with the method of producing the grapes, which is called as viticulture. And the last would be the horticulture. This would be completely giving us the information about the production of green vegetables, fruits, flowers, etc., which is the completely commercial based business, where we produce all type of vegetables, all type of fruits and uh, flowers just to export and to sell in the market, especially as we got a good market in the good sale in the market by the consumers in case of vegetables, flowers and fruits, where it is being called as a horticulture. As you might have seen so many very big yards of mangoes or different types of fruits, different types of vegetables which are being produced. So this production specially, which is based on green vegetables, flowers and fruits, can be called as horticulture. Yes, so these are the five farming methods generally based on the agriculture, or the source which the method they produce would be also called as the agriculture, part of agriculture, where they are the sericulture, pisciculture, viticulture, horticulture, and even agriculture is also included in this. And let us know about the farm system. So agriculture or farming is like a system. So when we say system, it means it has inputs, it has outputs, it has a process, a cycle, to say exactly. So this is the meaning of system, which is called as a farm system. For example, for farming we need seeds. As I told you, one of the other culture is agriculture, where Indian agriculture would be the best importance in our country, where the main occupation of the Indian country is the agriculture, where we give the importance of Indian economy to improve is based on agriculture, as we got very good climatic conditions and a very good support of fertile soil and sufficient water. So all these important things give us a very good support for the production of agricultural crops in our country. So India would be a very good and the country of Indian economy is completely based on agriculture. So for farming we need seeds, fertilizers, machinery, labor. So they are nothing but input. So we need a process. That means what do we do with the inputs, how do we use it, so that I can say that it is nothing but um, sowing, spraying, blowing, and then finally we have output. That means what do we gain out of this entire investment that we did. So that is nothing but crops. So if you see, some of the output are from agriculture we get crops, from animals we get wool, we also get dairy from animals, and then pottery from which we get a hen or a chicken. So that was all about the farming system, where we get all. So the method what we in the agricultural produce, what is the input and what is the output, gives us a clear information about the farm system. What we invest on the production deals with all the farm system. So types of farming, let us know about the types of farming. So the world is big, of course, as you all know very well. Therefore, farming is practiced in different ways. People will have different ways of producing things, and the reason is because of geographical condition, that is, whether it's a hot place or cold place. Then it is also because of demands of produce, which means population. If a country has more population, its demand will be more compared to countries which have less population. And when labor, then we will talk about the labor, because not everything can be done by machine. We also need physical labor. So when we say labor, we mean to say that skilled labor, whether they can do a particular farming or not, whether they are expensive or not. Because if it is expensive, then you cannot hire more people. Finally, the level of technology, we have the more advanced technology, and you have the easier it is to do a farming or any kind of activity to produce a large quantity in less time. Farming can be divided into two types. So let me tell you, subsistence farming and commercial farming. So let us know about what is this subsistence farming. The meaning of subsistence means where minimum sources is used, that is, where it is also practiced to meet the needs of the farmer's family, which means private farming. A better way of understanding subsistence farming is, just try to imagine that you have some land in your backyard. Whatever that you produce at the end of the day, you only use it and feed your family members. So this is how you will remember subsistence farming. So it is further divided into two categories: intensive and primitive. The meaning is high degree of output. So the meaning is intensive subsistence agriculture is where farmers use their small land holdings to produce enough for the local consumption, where remaining produce is used for exchange against other goods. Now remember, the farming over here use very simple tools to produce the crops. This would be the intensive farming, and let us know about the primitive subsistence. It is a form of agriculture where almost all the produce goes to feed and support the household, and it is not for sale. That's why the word primitive means ancient, traditional. So with this, you can also figure out that kind of farming is mostly practiced by tribal people. That would give us a clear information that this is a sort of shifting cultivation, where the nomadic people or the tribal people prefer to do such type of farming. And we can say that herding people, where they move from one place to the other. And the meaning of shifting cultivation is, by the name you can figure out that you shift your cultivation from land to land. So here what you do is, you take the ashes of burnt trees and then you mix it with the soil crops. After the soil lost its fertility, and you move to new land for cultivation. This is for shifting cultivation, and it is also known as the slash and burn agriculture. This is highly inappropriate way of cultivation because here the land is abundant as soon as it loses its fertility. So this type of cultivation is given different names in different parts of the world as it is being followed by the tribal people or the nomadic people. And in India we can call it as a chumming. In Mexico it's called as a malba, and in Brazil it is called as a roca. In Malaysia it is ladan, or the other hand nomadic herding means, which would be like by the primitive or the tribal people. So the word herding means animal like camel, sheep, goat, cows, etc. are the people who use such animals to produce the milk, or else the skin, or else the output what they get out of these animals based on maybe the wool. This would be the primitive cultivation method. So now let us talk about the commercial farming. The meaning of commercial is trading, business, and private enterprises. So in this type of farming, you grow crops and raise animals for sale in market, because you invest in terms of capital machinery and human labor. Here the output needs to be sold in market to uncomfortable farming, and is practiced in areas of temperate grasslands of North America, Europe, Asia. Because if you can see, there are these areas are highly populated with large farms spreading over hundreds of hectares, and you also have a lot of river flowing in these regions. And we have read many times that where there is a river there is a huge civilization, and therefore commercial farming is very famous in these areas. Now in commercial farming, uh, you can only grow just crops, or you can do mixed farming where you can grow crops as well as rare livestock. That means rearing animals like cow, goat, sheep, etc. for dairy products. And mixed farming is practiced in Europe and Argentina also. And coming to the point of plantations, so this is a type of commercial farming. So if you see tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana, cotton, they all are grown out of a plant, and they also have a lot of market value. That's why it is called as commercial farming, because use it to sell in the market, especially they are being produced to sell in the market. So most of this is either practiced on the farm itself, or you take it as to nearby factories. So most of their plantations are found in the tropical region of the world because of ample of sunlight. Rubber is in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India, and Sri Lanka are some of the examples of plantations. So this is what about the topic, children. It is a part 1 about agriculture and different methods what we have learned in this lesson. Hope you understood. Thank you.